What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here, and no, it's not for a BFR. It's for the end of November Power Rankings, a long-awaited video. I look forward to doing these after every single month. Just long videos I can just chat on and just ramble on about anything I want about the team and how they're doing. So, to start things off, in spot number 32, we have, dropping 6 spots from where they were at the end of October, we have Ottawa. Their GM Dorian said they were done with the rebuild. Apparently not, as their team's they've gone on COVID, so they've had a break. They did bad coming out of the break. Did bad after the break, and it just seems to keep getting worse. I'm not really sure what to say about this team and why they're not winning. They looked dangerous last year at the end of the season, and people thought this would be the year that they would not make the playoffs and push out. It's done the opposite. It's gotten worse and worse. That's for sure. And number 31, dropping 1 spot from where they were last power ranking, Montreal. They're done with this year. They fired Bergevin, fired pretty much the entire front office, and there's really nothing much to say about this team other than they're bad, and there's going to be a new group in charge of this team from going forward. As these two teams are pretty much they just look done already, and there's a bunch of teams on this list that just look out of it. However, I think in the next all the way up to 25, I'm pretty sure we can have at least one of these make the playoffs if they at least 2 or 3 of these make the playoffs if possible. If they went on a strong win streak, Montreal and Ottawa are not 2 of them. Number 30, dropping 3 spots from where they were last week, Vancouver. They keep losing. Why do they keep losing? Pettersson's not scoring. Other reasons, Jim Benning is still the GM, according to many Vancouver fans. I'm not really sure how it is out there. I'm not sure. The opinions in Chicago are non-existent when it comes to other outside markets. It's really focused on the Blackhawks. And, I know in Vancouver they're very upset with him. Oliver Ekman-Larsson's played well. Connor Garland's played really well. Pettersson has underperformed. Hughes has been good. There's really not much else to say. This team's underperforming without question. They need to do better. If they don't do better, I feel like Benning could finally get fired, which might be what some people want, as they've been chanting fire Benning at the game. Kind of like how here in Chicago they've been chanting fire Nagy at pretty much any sporting event, whether it's high school football. Yes, I've been to high school football games where they have chanted fire Nagy, and beyond whatever else. Anyway. Number 29, this team moved up 3, and we thought they were pretty much done after they got their first win. Arizona has kind of come out of the darkness and actually won 2 games in a row, and I'm pretty sure they won 3 games in a row or something like that. They have 5 wins now. They are in the standings right here. Only Ottawa is the worst team in the league, but Arizona has been playing really well. They have such good effort. It's just that they don't have the talent necessary to go to the next level. And it's understandable, and at least they're in a spot where they have a plan for the future. Canadian team that said they were coming out of rebuild. Canadian team that just went to the final and lost in the final, but looked good coming out of it. Team that should be in the playoff hunt right now without question. Team that isn't supposed to be doing anything and is an American market that people want to move out of, and yet you're the ones that have a plan, and these 3 don't know what the hell is going on. That's the interesting part about sports, and that's what I like about it. There's parity. You never know what's going to happen, especially in hockey. Like in basketball, every year I can predict the final. I have predicted the final in several occasions. I didn't get half of it right last year. I literally said who was going to be in the Super Bowl last year. This year, I'm going to hold that opinion for now. I don't want to until we get near to the playoffs. Then I may throw it in somewhere. But like MLB, it's pretty easy to predict. NBA, it's pretty easy to predict. NFL is easy to predict. Hockey is not easy to predict. That is for sure. And knowing hockey even to the fullest knowledge, I won't even say I know it to the fullest knowledge, even though I'll look at all these stats and it's pretty much spend my entire days just looking at stuff. I won't call myself a master of hockey knowledge, but something ain't right when a team that has a plan is ahead on the power rankings of three teams that should be in playoff contention, if not in playoff spaces. Anyway, moving on. Number 28, we have a team that's been dropping 9 spots, and it's time to start panicking if you're on the Long Island. Islanders, I don't think have won at home yet in their new building, and they're a team that I think can, if they go on a streak and win some games, but they've just been, they had a COVID break, and it just was not going well at all, and it's still not going well. So I'm curious to see how Barry Trotz is playing to get out of this. He's the best coach in the league, probably, in my opinion. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. And then we move on to number 27, where I'm bringing up the marker, so you know what that means. We have Seattle, who drops 7 spots from the previous month, and they've gotten better recently. They beat Florida in Florida. That was a big win. And they've been getting better. They've been getting more used to playing with each other as time when it goes on. They beat Buffalo 7-4. They lost pretty badly to Minnesota. Actually, no, that was Arizona. But they're not really competing with the good teams unless you count beating Florida in Florida. But yeah, this is an expansion team, and they have an expansion team record. And I think they'll get better. The season goes on, I think this team will get better. And by the end, probably be around, I want to say they'll be around in between 20 and 23. That's my prediction for them by the end of the year. Moving on, going up 5 spots from the previous month, we have Chicago. Chicago, they go on a 4-game win streak. And then since then they've gone loss, win, and loss, and win, and then loss again. And a lot of these games they should have won. They should have beat Calgary. They should have beat San Jose. They probably should not have beat St. Louis, but they did anyway. They lose the games they should win, and they win the games they should lose. That is how to describe the Blackhawks right now. They should have beat Toronto back. I'm going to bring this up again. They should have beat Toronto that one game, and they lost in overtime. And they should be a lot better than what they're putting out. Fleury bounced back incredible. Fleury has been incredible. DeBrincat has been really good. Kubalik needs to find the offense. Taves needs to get a goal. He did have one, but it got disallowed. And Kane hasn't had a point in 5 games, which is worrisome enough. I'm going to be I'm always going to be overcritical of you're always going to be overcritical of your favorite team. The Hawks, I'm happy with right now because they've improved from where they should. They were supposed to be playoff contenders this year. They brought in Jones, who's been great. They brought in Fleury, who's been great after that slow start. And now it's their pieces. Hagel's been a beast. Hagel is my favorite player on that team right now because every game you could see him out there giving more devotion than any other player, and he actually gives a damn about the team. Hardly looks like anyone else out there. Maybe Caro looks like that, McCabe looks like that, and Fleury looks like that. Those 4 players give more devotion to this team. Hagel gives more devotion to this team than the rest of the team combined. But those other 3 are the only 3 that look like they actually give a crap about what goes on that team. And sorry about that rant, but that's just kind of what it looks like when it's every day on the ice. Now, a team that's moved down 10 spots and has not been playing well recently. They're on a 6-game losing streak. Philadelphia. Injury problems they've had, and there's not really much else to say about that. It's been injuries in a year where you never know what to expect from Philadelphia. They're either going to be great or they're going to be horrible, and right now they're in the horrible area, even though they've had some pretty good games, and they just are not getting wins. But that's really all I have to say on that. Now, moving down 16 spots, we have number 24, Buffalo. We all knew this would happen eventually. Buffalo just doesn't have the adequate talent to keep up a top 8 spot, as they were at number 8 on the last month's power rankings when they had off that amazing start. Not really much to say. They're just a young team now. They've got some Jeff Skinner's played. Kyle Oposo played okay. Both of them have been Probably representing their contracts the best they've had while they've been in Buffalo, Oposo especially. Skinner had a really good first year, but that's aside the point. Rasmus Asplund, I like the way he's been playing. Dahlin has been struggling. Fans were like chanting something about Dahlin or booing him, something I saw on YouTube the other day when I was scrolling through highlights. And yeah, this is expected from Buffalo. I assume they're going to fall somewhere by the end of the year in between here. They got off such a good start, so I feel like they'll be in between here, but we'll see. Now dropping 9 spots, and just signed Jack Hughes to an 8x8 extension. We got New Jersey. Risky contract. Was it worth the risk? I think so. Jack Hughes can develop to be an incredible player, and that's obviously not. It's not the time for them to make the playoffs. They got Dougie Hamilton. He's a good piece. Subban has been having a better year than he's had in the past with New Jersey, and this team is building towards something, and I feel like they could be pretty good in the next few years. Blackwood and Bernier, solid tandem. They're just not getting. They have a winning record, but they're just not getting the needy wins that they currently need. Now we move on to number 22, who's moved up 7 spots, and I feel when I first was putting this together, I'm like, this feels a little low. But the Kings have had, I'm pretty sure now, a 5-game losing streak and a 5-game winning streak in the same season, this early part of the season. And I don't really know how to feel about them. Some games they look like they could kick ass, and then there are some games that look like they can. I won't finish that sentence, but you get the idea. This is a team that I don't really know how to distinguish among the rest. They're mediocre for sure, but can they improve on that mediocrity and get into a playoff spot? Definitely. Can they also end up falling into this area? Absolutely. That definition of mediocre, except complete opposite. It's they're mediocre, but they're not at the same time. They're consistently inconsistent, and they're inconsistently consistent. It's this team just. I don't know the words for it. I can use a million adjectives and can't really lay it on the exact one. Moving on, down 4 spots, and another team that I'm surprised is this low. Boston. They've struggled, I've seen, but they seem to struggle, but they seem to win games. Interesting enough. Every time I see them play, it's always Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, and not much else on that team. Ullmark and Swayman have both struggled in net, but they've been getting wins based on Marchand, Pasternak, and Bergeron. That's really all you can describe Boston with, the quote-unquote perfection line. And, yeah, that's really all I have to say. Now, down 11 spots from where they were the previous month, we have Detroit. Detroit, nothing to say on them, really. I haven't really seen them much. They had a bit of a break for a while, not for COVID, just in general. And they were doing really good to start the year, and then they started going really bad, and then they're all back. They've won 3 in a row now, and I don't really know how to feel since this team wasn't expected to make the playoffs. I didn't have them making the playoffs. I had them 6th in the division. So where they are right now, you got Ottawa, Montreal, Buffalo, Boston, Detroit. So I have them somehow they're somehow 4th in the division, but it's a crazy league, crazy division, crazy year this year. So and it just gets even weirder as moving down 1 spot from the last month, we have, if I can get the magnet off, Columbus, who somehow only moves down 1 spot. It's another team that seems to always not have mediocre goaltending and shouldn't be in contention at all for a playoff spot, yet are in contention for a playoff spot and a wild card spot. As I don't really know how Columbus is winning. They seem to get contributions from everybody on that team and somehow make it out. It's incredible how that team is working right now, as they don't really have a superstar. They've got like Patrick Laine, they have Max Domi, they have in net they have Korpisalo and Merzlikins. They lost a lot of pieces in the offseason. They lost Seth Jones. They lost what's his name? Atkinson. And yet they're still in competition. Sorry, and that's all I have to say about Columbus. And moving down 5 spots, number 18, Winnipeg, who has been losing a lot of games as of late. They were playing really well, and then the last few weeks hit, and they've just been stinking. When they played that game against Chicago, where they won, I think, was it 5-1? That was probably the best game they've played since they've. Yeah, but since. That's the best game they've played since, and I don't really know how to distinguish it. This is a team that's good on paper, as a lot of teams are. Vancouver, Chicago, LA, Boston maybe. Those are teams that are good on paper, and Philadelphia can be included in that as well, and yet still not be in a top 16 spot. Moving on, we have number 17, Colorado. Colorado's been playing pretty well, and they've gotten back into the swing of things. They're moving up slowly. They're up 7 spots, up 6 spots. My apologies. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. And they're getting better. They've been inconsistent recently. McKinnon should be coming back. I think he just came back. So they should be getting some more wins now that their star is back. And kind of interesting that how even with McKinnon out, they still yes, McKinnon was out, but they have a lot of pieces on that team that they should be able to win with no problem. So it was really interesting to see that they are not being fully winning and are currently not in a playoff spot. I apologize. I need to take a step away for a moment. My apologies. I have returned. Anyway, moving on. We got through Colorado. At number 16, we have a team that's up 9 spots in Vegas. Still have injury issues, but they've learned to play without Pacioretty, Stone, and now without Eichel. And Carlson as well. Team's coming together, and they're able to starting to win games. They're not... sorry, the hiccups now. Just 8. And they're not at where they were when they started the season by any means, but they are starting to win games consistently now, which gets Vegas right back on track. I'm wearing their jersey right now. Don't get to wear it that often in videos because I'm doing this Blackhawks stuff, so there's taking the Vegas jersey, Jonathan Marchessault on the back. And yeah. Now, at number 15, up 13 spots, we have a team that's hot as fire right now with the Dallas Stars. They've won 5 in a row after a rough start, and I've bounced right back into the playoff race. And that's really all I have to say about Dallas. Good team, and they just keep fighting for those games, and they keep winning. Next, you have a surprising team that's down 2 spots, but should be probably people expected to be down a lot more. San Jose beat Chicago 2-0, and they've been beating a lot of other teams. And the standout performances from James Reimer, Erik Karlsson's been good, Brent Burns has been good. They got their young guys, Dahlin, Balcers, Couture, veteran presence leading. They got Barbanoff, has been playing physical, he's been scoring, I've seen. Timu Meyer, all these guys, Balcers. It's a coming together of a team that was expected to be bad and has been made into a good. They've been falling a little bit. They have been falling. They're probably going to keep falling as the season goes on and teams get better. But they just don't have the talent right now to go to the next step. But they can have the talent now that we've seen what they can do as a good team. Now, moving down 1 spot to number 13, we have Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been battling injuries, and without Malkin still, Crosby's back. And, there's really not much to say about Pittsburgh. Another team that's had a very good start, and then they cooled down and all of a sudden got bad, and then now they're back into the playoff race. 4th in their division. If they can keep it up, they can get back into the playoffs for another straight year since 2007. Next, we have the St. Louis Blues, who have dropped 8 spots. And they've been similar to Winnipeg, but not as full scale, as they've been losing a lot more games. Have won a bunch more, have also won to cancel it out. So they've just been consistently inconsistent to just by itself. Unlike LA, who's consistently inconsistent and inconsistently as consistent. St. Louis is able just to be consistently inconsistent, and that allows them to keep balancing out their record into a positive thing. Next, up 16 spots from the last time, Anaheim. We thought they would start losing. They still haven't. This team still is winning games. Getzlaf and his bounced back incredibly. Troy Terry has been scoring like a maniac. Zegers has been decent. And they've got all their... Josh Gibson's been good. All their everyone except maybe Comtois. Comtois has been pretty mad this year. Hasn't really done a lot. But Anaheim's been proven they could be a top 3 team in that division, and are currently, if I'm not mistaken, almost with they were in first place above Edmonton and Calgary for a little bit there, and now they're starting to fall a bit because Edmonton and Calgary are just really good, and they are just keep climbing. But that's all I have to say about Anaheim. I'm trying to speed this up a little. It's a long video, I know, for all you people watching. It's understandable. Most people click to the end anyway. So, what can you see? Next, we got number 10, Nashville. Another surprising team, similar to San Jose. We thought they were going to be bad this year. But no, they're up 6 spots from where they were. And they just seem to keep winning. Duchesne's had an incredible bounce back. Johansson's bounce back. They've had other pieces step in, and yeah, this team's been a coming together of a team to show, hey, we could. Rene's gone. Forsberg scored 4 goals last night, which was incredible, and these pieces are gone now. We sold off Arvidsson. We gave away Ekholm. We putting more dependence on Fabro, who's a young defenseman. But no, this team's been able to keep winning games, and it's impressive, especially from coming from a person who despises Nashville. And moving up 12 spots, we have number 9, Tampa Bay. Thought about putting them a lot lower, as low as probably around here, but they've just been winning games, and it's kind of under the radar. They're not impressive wins; they're just winning, and they're 12-5-4 as we speak. Haven't heard much about Tampa and any of the news rumblings or literally anything, to be honest. Tampa's been like a team that's not even been heard of, and they've won back-to-back cups. They have no pressure on them. Maybe going for the three-peat, they're just waiting for playoff time. But yeah, and then moving down 1 spot from last month, we have the Rangers at number 8. Rangers have been pretty good. They've had their times where they're pretty much just staying in the third place. They're kind of just locked into that third place zone, and Panarin has been producing. They've had other pieces. As I'm saying this for pretty much every team that's up here, because to win you need your entire lineup to contribute. All these teams have had, I'd say from San Jose on, have had their young guys, maybe not less known guys, step up and start just scoring, doing the little things right, and that's how you make your team win. And moving down 6 spots, we have Carolina. Carolina, more on fire to start the season. Kind of cooled down a bit. And the reason Carolina's so low is just because these other 6 teams ahead of it have just been doing so much better. And since Carolina's doing great still, but these 6 teams have caught fire, and it seems like they're just playing better as of right now. There are teams like Vancouver, who are all the way above Chicago in the standings. Actually, no, Seattle's above Chicago. Vancouver's all the way up here, but that's just the way I see them, the way they are right now. Remember, this is my opinion only. This isn't off a website or anything. This is just what I'm seeing when I'm watching games, when I'm watching highlights, reading articles, reading stats, all that kind of stuff. So, Carolina at 7th may more or less, I apologize for that, more or less insult some Carolina fans. They are still a really good team, but they're just not catching as much fire as these other teams are right now. Now, move on to number 6. Calgary. What I kind of see is on an at level playing field with Carolina right now. These two can be pretty interchangeable on where they are. Calgary I'll give the edge to because Western teams aren't really plentiful in this last 10, that's for sure. Like, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay, so four out of 6 are Western teams. So, yeah, Calgary has been good. They've had a bounce back for sure, coming from 2020. The one that's been waiting since 2019. They've proved they're a top 3 team in the West as of right now, and they are the 3rd team in the West as of right now. And yeah, just battling out with Edmonton for the lead in that division, as well as Minnesota for the top of the Western Conference overall. Those 3 teams are, like, I'm pretty sure tied with the same amount of points at 31 right now. So great battle to see those 3 duke it out. Old Northwest Division battle, if anyone remembers that division, my childhood times. Now we move on to number 5. We have Washington, who is just all cylinders go. Ovechkin is a beast, and there's no stopping him. They don't even have Backstrom, and yet they are winning games nonstop and have taken over the lead over Carolina in the Metropolitan Division, which I'm not sure many people saw. I mean, I had them winning the division, but they have been a lot better than anyone ever expected. That is without question. Ovechkin has been off to the best start in his career and is on pace for something like 71 goals, 71 assists. So that's incredible enough on its own. And what else can I say? Washington is just a great team right now, and the way they keep playing, they have a chance to be heavy favorites for the Cup this year. And now at number 4, Edmonton, dropping 1 spot. The reason Washington and Calgary both stayed the same in the rankings, so I didn't really mention what they had dropped or above, because they hadn't. They stayed the same. Edmonton, still, even though they dropped 1 spot, still firing on all cylinders. They've cooled down a bit from October, so that's why they moved down a bit, because there's been a team that I'd say in the West, just a bit better than them, as moving up 7 spots is Minnesota, who is, I believe, on a 4-game win streak right now, and has also been firing on all cylinders. Kaprizov's been amazing, and Talbot's been off to maybe the best start in his career in goal, and yeah, these 3 teams right here just keep duking it out for the Western Conference, and it's really fun to watch. Really fun hockey. Minnesota's probably in the best place they've ever been in their entire existence, and it's been 22nd year this is. Yeah. Apologies for that. There was a loud commotion outside my room, and I wanted to wait for the time to pass. And now, saying the same as the last power rankings as well, we have Florida. If I can get this magnet off, Florida slowed down a bit, without question. They're still first in the division, but they're tied for it, as the team above them, who's moved up 22 spots, has been unstoppable in the recent weeks. Toronto. As much as I hate to see it, as much as I hate to have my theory of Toronto winning the Cup this year come true, which we're not even close to, I'm hoping I jinx them there, as I want to see them lose in the first round again. I'm sorry to any Toronto fans, but it is hilarious every single year. I mean, I said Montreal was going to win in 6 last year, okay? Don't blame me for the 7th one. Yeah, this Toronto's been unstoppable. Dogs barking, apologies again. Yeah, let's just say Amazon's been around recently. Yeah, Toronto unstoppable. 9-1 in their last 10, I'm pretty sure, and it gets better even after that. Like, they got that 1 loss, and I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up having 10-0 in that last 10 spot. Florida slowed down a bit. That's why they're number 2, even though they're still considered the best team on both NHL standings, NHL.com, and ESPN. I still see Toronto as the better team right now, and I'm surprised by it. Toronto, I thought, would get worse this year, and they're proving they can be the best team in the league right now. But that's really all I have for you guys. Some big changes. The biggest change by far being Toronto, who was 23 in October, after October, now number 1 on the power rankings for November. And yeah, the biggest surprises right now from since last time, Dallas has been really good. Vancouver's been really bad. And Islanders been pretty bad. Those are the 3 biggest surprises that I would say have come out of this. And Carolina, don't get me wrong, these 7 teams. I'll make a line right here. Best teams in the league right there. If you want to say your cup favorites, here you go, right here on a platter. And any team in there, I feel like one of those 7 teams is going to win the cup this year. And everyone on the outside of it isn't real. Between the Rangers and Hurricanes, I feel like there's a pretty big gap right here. You got the elite. You got, as of right now, the ones who look like playoff contenders, the ones who might be playoff contenders, and then, as of right now, the ones for try your luck next year. That's going to be it for today. Comment down below who you think I messed up on. Many people are going to skip to the end of this anyway, so yeah, that's really all I have for you guys today. I was hoping I can get this video out today, and I was able to. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. You got a Hawks game tomorrow to watch. The BFR will be up on Friday. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So see you guys next time. Have a good day. Goodbye.